It's important when dealing with machine shit, these cards and such, not to get pissed off. You can cuss the robot out if it makes you feel good, but it's going to get you murdered. And I'm going to tell you why. By your cholesterol, stupid. See, you even hear the stuff in the background popping. No, no, no. Whole different topic. I did run into roadblocks because critical parts of the process. One, you how long have we been doing these cards? People, a minute. So there's certain things that are in all of them, and this one has removed certain steps, which I think is weird. But and it stops you because you've got to slow bus it through. But what's going on, bigger than that, is they're tightening a noose. They're tightening a monetary noose on everyone. It's fine. You're in a digital prison. Get over it. Are you having a good time in your cell block? Not gonna prison planet you? No, okay. I did want to have my character on for the next video, but in fact, I don't even know if this is going to record because of the um, certain things in the phones. When I have them at about first month, second month in, all the all the problems with the battery chargers manifest on every phone. And yes, it's something I do it. I do it. I've owned that. I know I do it. But if they're not modeling this, they've got to be because it's just too machine like, you know. In all the areas where you're supposed to learn the steps, execute the steps, I can do that because I've that's the sort of jobs I've had, put in the screw, weld the screw, you know. And of course it gets more complex, but mechanical means step by step. These are your parts, here's the step, do the thing, you know. And with the cards, that's all they are. That's why you can have a robot. Put in the fucking info. But then the tail is that the steps, how they carry over across all of them. Now, some of them I'm sure, and I never even got the solution with my Cash App card, which I do not trust anymore because of it's a way it could let me spend my money, but not let me pay this one bill I just had to pay. And being stretching out in the spirit of stretch out the monies, I halved my bill for the future. That's the only benefit I have of not having a prepaid phone. And they don't even really rate me too bad. I'm sure they're getting plenty of money. But it's too much. When you get your heart racing and you feel sweaty and the sweaty is grease, it could be from Mexican food you just ate. But if you can deal with humans and get pissed off, you can get pissed off. And if you don't stress yourself out, which is behind anger, because you got to learn anger first, because you, as whoever you may be, your interaction with anger is your fucking business. How you perceive things and then get mad about it will be up to you to disable in your own thought thinking process, however you need to do it. And you need to, because you can't just go around beating up people for your money. Although you may want to, and tell them fuck you. And then if you really get shitty, talk about their mama. All that shit affects you badly first. You don't want to be one of those old boomers that gets in a fight with somebody in the line and then has the heart attack and dies. Who wants that? You fucking Grinch. So where's the benefits? Well, in the Christmas season, when you don't have family to do Christmas with in a way, great. Less fucking stress for buying shit. And how much of that buying shit stress was actually warranted? For little kids, to some degree, that's fun. Everybody's having a good time. I don't have much complaints. But overall, every holiday is tainted with this marketing ploy gimmick shit. And in certain industries, it's fine. You know, we're having a war, so we got to innovate. That makes sense. Let's innovate. We're in a war for our life. But when marketing's just doing it because they want to be super richer than the other super rich, there's a level when greedy wealth fucking dwarfs everyone and goes into some bizarre territory with fuck you money. And at that point, it's like, how rich do you need to be? Do you just want your needs taken care of? You could be Johnny Everyman, and everybody needs that. But that's why you're supposed to have jobs and work. Society's pretty fucked, and for the most place, I think it's doomed. But yet, I still have the little isolated pockets of glistening, glittering hope, and it gets struck upon at very key times to where I can pull all those isolated bubbles together and then manage to continue processing that whole persona inside, which exists. It's quite gifted and has very large funds. And its power banks. It's just so few and far sometimes I'll get to draw upon it and use it. It's what I would call magic. But it's how it's biologically activator. Because you motherfuckers that don't have it, don't don't try to use it. You'll blow yourself up or something stupid. Only magical, qualified magical bloodlines can use magics because they've got some sort of probably experience in the past, way back, before Atlantis, in Lemuria, when you were a lizard walking around and didn't know much but how to eat fruit on tree. You were learning stuff critical to survival in 3D world, but you're not 3D yet. You're some sort of weird, mushy astral shit that we don't talk about because it makes us feel uncomfortable. You should feel uncomfortable, you smushy, astrally glittery blob of light. You're about to be physical. Yay, good for you. So the process of evolution, involute, and then evolute. Okay? You got the steps? Come down into get body, go back up away from bodies. Take a long period of rest. Do again, rinse, repeat. How many lives could you have had? Material, flesh, live. Millions. Innumerable. You would blow up the machine that they put you in. That's why they don't do that. Biological systems to evolve on their own when you're done with the body. All the little skanky women that you betrothed not, then your biological information has a chance to develop its own desires and whims. Because it's not so just about you. What does your cell want to do? The little one in the corner? He's got big ideas. He's going to break out of this place, and you'll see, you'll all see. Wrong. Step outside the cell wall, and you will be taken down by your white blood cell, probably a white supremacist blood cell. He'll probably beat you up with some of his friends, gather around you, make a fool of you. Then he'll take you to the liver and deposit you, where you'll be swiftly pissed out like you deserve. Piece of shit. You're not even a piece of shit. You're pissed out. Piss ant. I don't think this is going to be the one I keep. This video was affected by the card activation process, but to its credit, it took out a whole nother step with the process by the phone company's process. They merged completely. There was no issues. $50 was made pay possibly, but not immediately. I mean, possibly. There's still a wonderful chance that they may summon you for your $50 on card because it didn't transact. How does that make you feel? Stress? That's stress you can save for later. Hmm? Just embody it. If you think about all the times you embody shit and it affects you forever, you would be more careful about it, wouldn't you? You probably watch a lot less commercials. No fucking shit, right? So our understanding of these processes that we're affected by is backwards. Because if you want to know anything about yourself, you have to first know yourself. And you know that your cortisol levels aren't going to be doing your body any good. It's harmful. Slightly less than toxic, but definitely toxic. It is kind of strange and wonderful, even, perhaps. The weirdness, the dream world opens up into possibility. Because the one I had last night, I couldn't even, by the time it was time to, I don't even know how I could write this down, what I saw. But I saw some sort of like replicant. It was like a gonna be a live thing or being that everyone was looking at and had like a smaller like a like a figure of. Maybe it's a 3 foot tall figurine of some sort. Don't ask me if it was made of plastic. I don't know. It was some sort of figurine, not a live thing, but then it was made alive. And then there was all these weird issues about what's the name of it, what's its role, what can it do. It was very weird. But it affected me because I had either designed it or some step in the process to where when it did do that, it would be a lot of people would look for royalty checks, but there was a lot more problems than the money involved. It was like all the shit the body would be telling me, and I know. But to decipher all of that, you tossing your nose up at that? No, I'm not. It's all there, but what you can see clearly and do anything about is often limited within the moment you're in. Sometimes it expands later, a lot of times it does. Something else falls into the pieces, and I've had some incredible fucking revelatory dreams of shit that even I still have hit me when I go certain places in this town. Because in this town, it was under a fucking dome or balloon or fucking tent, and nobody was able to leave. And we got to the edge of it and lifted it up like a curtain, and there's a giant snake out there slithering through a grass. So we just put the fucking curtain down and we said, okay, I guess we're not going out there. And that could be a vision of the farther future away, where they've rewilded the world. Yeah, yeah. Which I don't expect to have to be around for. But hopefully, a lot of people that chase immortality or they want that, they have to be fucking crazy. Think about all the problems. First, all your friends die and you stay alive. That's been depicted as a horrible thing for people to have to go through for many times, and was even a curse put upon some Indian dude because he killed babies. He killed babies. Yeah, I had a wonderful story last night. This one was great, and there's something about it that I think is very real and resonated. But it was about these people that would they were being killed. It was like a tribal society of some sort of peoples in the way back times. But people are coming out of caves they were calling demons and killing all their villages one by one. And they had to travel between villages, so they knew women that were traveling to one vision saw the smoke and could smell the dead bodies. So they started turning back, and by the time they got to their village, guess what? Murdered. Pretty shitty, right? So they're fighting some demons that are coming out of the ground, and this is possible. You know, demon. The term demon taints up the whatever you're talking about. So just imagine shark tooth fucking humans that are allergic to the sunshine, and then call that whatever the fuck you want. Call it fucking lab accident number 32789. I don't know. So what happens is in this story, and it was great. It was a great story. Two brothers go in there, and they're sneaking into the entrance of this underground hell and managed to kill everybody in the foremost area they could get in, sneaking. They went, they knew when they were going to go to sleep, they slit their throat. You could kill a lot of people that way. You just can. That's the facts. So, for some reason, I don't know what the reason was, but the younger of the two tore out one of these demon things' hearts, rubbed the blood on his face, and ate the heart, and got his older brother to do it. And his older brother was freaked out by this. He's like, but the younger brother, why are you doing this? He's like, because I want to know, you know, I don't remember exactly, so don't quote me, but I'm telling you, it's got my whole head tingling because it was right. It was the right thing that happened. So, but here's the but, it transformed them into some sort of pseudo nocturnalized killing machines. They didn't lose their soul. They were who they were still, but they could kill these motherfucking demons better, and they could see in the dark, and they didn't look the same. I don't imagine you're going to win any fucking beauty contest in that fucking department, but it was necessary for them to do it. And somehow the younger one keyed in on that it was something to do. They did it. I don't remember the last time I ate my enemy's heart because I'm not doing that. It's not in my day to day walk. But there's some weird shit of cannibalism that's in my the Choctaw. The Choctaw did eat their enemies, and they did it to take their powers. That's what they said. Now, of course, on the surface, that looks fucking bizarre and crazy. But if you take the context that they come from Native Americans and they're smaller people, they're not a large Native American, and they lived in a certain place. I've looked all this up. At some time in the far back past, even not so far back that it was still almost time for the Spanish to arrive, but there were giants in this land over here a lot more, a lot. And the Indians were having to fight them because these motherfuckers could run and rip the fucking legs right off of fucking cattle and shit they'd eat. They normally stay in caves and shit. The problem with these degenerate fucks, the giants of some sort, they had been descendants of even gianter great peoples, but had deserted or whatever. When times got tough, instead of get tough and do the right thing, they ate each other. And that's what their memory recalls. And sadly, that they admit it. That's what happened to them. And it does something to you when you start eating people. I'm sorry to tell you that, people, like you didn't know. So I'm going to keep this if it lets me. I'm going to save it and share, put it up there. I just won't edit it. So they go back to their village to, well, their villagers were already coming to make war on the cave peoples. But these two brothers, for whatever reason, advanced, scouted, and went on their own. Now they've transformed. So this is the transformed them has the chief of their people come and they tell them what happened, what they did. the chief banishes them. So one of the brothers immediately is he committed suicide, and whatever way he did it right in front of him, slit his own throat. Like you can do that. That's a feat. I had an old lady friend of mine, and that's supposedly how she killed herself. And I can't imagine. I can't see it. I can't see it. So I don't know. But that's got to be a gruesome fucking thing to do. Like he did, and the guy, and he turned to dust and burned like a fucking like a troll when the fucking light hits him, or a vampire. Now the younger brother that started all this shit stayed alive, fought some more, and even the story tells that the leader of the tribe realized that he shouldn't have done that, but he was afraid that they were going to eat his people in this transformed state. And that's a logic fear. That's a logic assumption to be concerned about if you're a fucking ancient times tribe person already fighting vampires or monsters from underground coming up. Those are extenuating circumstances. And if you don't think these times are those times too, wait for it. It will be soon enough. But rather than rejoin his people, he somehow says some smart ass shit and then kills himself. So overall, demons lose, but there's some leftover element of this blood. And whoever dropped the story about the ancient ones and whatever, it was a real shit on you to somebody they were talking to that didn't want to believe that was true or possible. And yeah, I'm a sideliner, so I'm just saying, yeah, it is. It is possible. And it may be something of the sort that'll fucking bless the shit out of you if you're not closed off and unaware when the time comes. So if the right monster avails itself, eat that motherfucker's heart, but make sure you're really enemies with it, and it has no fucking value as a human, and its activity would be able to demonstrate the truth of that for you. For the younger son, he had all the fucking truth of these motherfuckers he needed. He was face fucking in the heart, blacked his whole face up. So these motherfuckers turned into some sort of orc, like some night slaying ass dark elf humanoid that still retained its own personality. Of course, they had a wicked smile, they said. It looked like they were a little bit wicked, but in control of it. So what do you do? I thought it was fascinating. And the weirdness of these videos that come out at midnight, this midnight broadcast, check it out. They're good stories. And sometimes when they're like too close to home, they're all over the place and too close to home a lot of the times in the timing that's right. So what do you think about that shit? Not very much. I'm not even gonna make it to this part of your video. Oh, fuck you. You'll make it. Those of you who make it, make it. Is it irrelevant? It's relevant. This is just the days of our lives, right? They're so bogged down in materialistic world shit that you got to have a breath of fresh air to reimagine the possibilities. Take it.